Hello YouTube, this is Darius Oliver with Divine Numerology doing the video about the number 8 today. The number 8 corresponds to power and abundance and relates also to connection and disconnection and our ability to deal and handle social interaction with other people. What the 8 reminds us to do is to really focus on doubling structure, because 8 is the total of 2 4s. When you add 2 4s, that's double structure and stability, right? So 8, when you turn it on its side, it becomes the infinity symbol. 8 in and of itself, when we think about it, we often think of money. We associate 8 with power and abundance, and we think of money and how that affects. Usually when it comes in a personal year vibration, the number 8 usually does bring an impact to the finances, to a person's financial status, or wherever they lie in that area. But it's also a time of proper management of finances, because 8 represents management. 8 represents flow. It represents coordination and making things happen, making things connect. It's known as the interactor. Because it interacts, it's very social. In fact, 8 is the most social of all the numbers. It's the most extroverted of all the numbers. Its direct opposite is the number 7, which is introspective. 7 analyzes and explores the world within, while 8 explores the world of phenomena and the things that happen. The number 8 itself corresponds to the planet Saturn in astrology, which is where it gets many of its characteristics. Saturn is an older planet. It's the oldest. It's associated with maturity, with structure. So people that are born on the 8th, 17th, or the 26th will often carry or be associated with those traits that really emphasize Saturn. Saturn really rewards hard work over an extended period of time, and it rewards patience. It rewards the quality of sticking to a task until it's done, until it's completed, and taking a mature and adult approach to the things that you've given your word to. These are the things that 8 is associated with. Also, when we think about it, the 8th zodiac sign is the sign of Scorpio. The sign of Scorpio relates to going deep, piercing deep. 8 being that sign, that 8th sign of Scorpio, it goes deep. It wants to get to the bottom of things. That's why 8 is so strong with the occult, with things that are related to the mysteries. It also is a sudden changes, because 8 is also correlating to the 8th house in Vedic astrology, which brings about sudden events, sudden change. It's also a number associated with death, because 8 is the 8th house. But in particular, death in the form of a transformation. In the form of transformation. So when we find that number 8, when we see that it pops up or shows up, it definitely calls to notice to our mind to think about the areas in our life that we can bring more structure and more respecting our boundaries and also the boundaries of others. Because of, when you think about even Saturn's rings, Saturn having those rings is the boundaries. Saturn is the planet that's on the outermost part of our solar system. We, in the traditional astrology, they only recognize planets that were within the boundaries of Saturn. Even though now we know about Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, those original 7, Saturn, Venus, Jupiter, Mars, Mercury, Venus, if I'm forgetting one, let me know, Earth, and then also the sun and the moon, these original 7 exist within the boundaries of Saturn. So in that sense, Saturn, being on the outer edge of the entire solar system, contains everything. It is the container. It is the limit imposer. It delays but does not deny. And even though this is the planet, these are characteristics that are associated with the number 8 because of that energetic connection that they hold. The 8th card in the tarot is the Strength card. Depending on what deck you use, some decks of tarot use use Justice. They switch Justice and Strength sometimes, depending on what deck you're using. But the Strength card, and that corresponds to the sign of Leo. So, and then when you think about it, that Leo happens in the 8th month. August 8th being Lionsgate. 8/8, Lionsgate. So there's a lot of different associations with the number 8. Whenever we find 44/8, that master number 44/8, that we find that a lot in military generals like George Patton, Douglas MacArthur, these people like that, very powerful generals that have that 8 energy, but at a master level from the form of 44. So that is my take on the number 8 for today at this time. This is Darius with Divine Numerology. You all have an awesome day and peace.